Because let's be honest, most people wait until they get retired from their job. Their bodies is battered down and broken, and they can barely do anything. Remember, retirement age is 65. No, retirement age is actually 67. And on average, the human male only lives to be 75 or 77 years old. Yes, you can wish to be 100, but they already did these studies. So you leave your job at 67, and you only got, 8 to 10 years to enjoy life. What kind of life is that? Who wants that? I want you to learn this early, so I'm going to tell you this now. I don't want you to wake up one day and you've been working for 10 years and you look back and you haven't accomplished shit. All you realize that you did was went to work, came home, paid bills, had a little fun, but you really haven't really accomplished shit at all. You look back, you ain't got no emergency fund saved up, you ain't got no rental properties, you ain't got no money in the stock market, you don't have any money working for you. You just been focusing on going to work and coming home. And don't take offense by this, I know many people at my job that's retiring and they have nothing to show for. Can you imagine being at a job for 30, 40 years, your house not paid off, your car not paid off, you got another kid on the way and you on your way out the door? That's a horrible mindset to have. The reason I go so hard about getting out of debt is because I don't want you to wake up 25 years, then went past and you don't have nothing planned out. Like, you should be able in the process to retire yourself before your job retires you. I know a lot of people is not going to get this video, but the people who get it, like, this is for you. Because I'm not trying to retire in my 60s with nothing to show for it. I'd rather work hard, bust my ass, get out of debt, and stack some bread up so I can retire myself as early as possible so I can enjoy more life. When I preach about getting out of debt, I only want you to get out of debt so you could have a better overall life.
As a debt-free 30-something-year-old, here are some things that I do to save time and money. One is there are certain bills and subscriptions that I actually pay annually or semi-annually. Some companies offer discounts when you're not paying a monthly bill, so I normally opt in for that for certain bills. So for example, my cat insurance, I actually pay that every 6 months and I have a sinking fund for that. Two is I have my savings and investments automated, so I don't have to really worry about my standard transfers that I know that I want to put into my accounts every single month. And three is I actually use Walmart's free grocery pickup service. So you just order on the app, you pull up to the store, and they would pack your groceries for you in your trunk. It is a free service. I have been using this service for over 7 years. So even pre-pandemic, I was using this service. It saves me so much time than having me going into the store and walking up and down the grocery aisles. And I think that also saves me money because I'm not just going into the grocery store aimlessly, picking up a bunch of things. I know what my grocery cost is going to be. And then I also can plan it around when I'm already going to be in the area to go ahead and go and pick up my groceries.
Okay, y'all. I received 2 checks in the month of October, so it's time to update my net worth. For the ones who are new here, hey y'all, my name is Tiana. I paid off $90K of debt in 22 months, and I've been sharing my financial journey to financial freedom. So last month, in the month of September, I ended the month at $59,008 as my overall net worth. Now, in this net worth, I do not include my paid off cars. I have 2 paid off cars. I also do not include anything that's currently in my checking or savings account. And I also do not include anything that I invest and save for my daughter. So with that being said, to end off October, my new net worth is $61,105.21. So it looks like I've been able to save and or invest about $2,097.21 this October. So that's not bad.
When I say being debt free is really like the cheat code to life, hear me out for a second. So I became debt free about 6-7 years ago. And when I say my life changed so much for the better, you will not understand. I'm talking, I'm coming from a guy, I ain't got no student loan debt. I ain't got no car payments, no credit cards, no nothing. And I still use credit cards, don't get me wrong, but I make sure that balance is paid off every single month. I don't have nothing carrying over at all. Nothing feels better when you receive your paycheck and you realize literally all the money is yours. Of course, you got like mortgage payments, like rent, utilities, and all that and stuff of that nature. But other than that, the whole check is yours, man. You ain't got to put $500 to a car, $400 to a student loan. So I'm just saying, use this here to lock in and really just become debt free and really set yourself free financially. Because, man, I'm talking because I go from when I was paying off my debt, hey, I wasn't going out beans and rice like Dave Ramsey said. I was doing all that. So Lock in now, because once you have no debt, realize you can travel more, you can invest more in your hobbies, you can really could just do what you want for real. I'm saying you're always gonna have responsibilities and hiccups in the road, emergencies, and that's where emergency funds come. But that's gonna be a whole other video. But I'm just saying, lock in, pay off that debt, man. You're gonna thank yourself later.
It's almost been 2 weeks since I started this account, so let's go over my debt, see how much I owe and where I owe it to. I'm gonna go in first to last order of how I want to pay off the debt. So first off, Chrysler Pacifica, that's our van. The total for it, the loan started at $13,423. We were able to throw a large chunk of our tax return back into this, so we have currently paid off $5,140, leaving the remaining total at $8,283. My goal is to have this van paid off by August of this year. Next on our list, Freedom Debt Relief. This is a consolidation loan. This one started off at $41,885. We've currently paid off $4,557 of it, leaving the current total to $37,320. Next on our list is KeyBank. This is our solar panels. Someone convinced us to get those. They said we'd get a big tax credit, and we did, and instead of throwing it at the solar panels, we spent it. The total price started out at $21,276. We've had these for the past 4 years. We've been able to pay off $5,002 of it, leaving the current total to $16,274. Okay, the last one, the big one, our HELOC. Initial line of credit started out at $80,000. We have paid off $350, leaving it to $79,645. This whole time I've been saying we have $100,000 in debt. I was a little bit off on that number. We started out with $156,579. With everything we've paid off so far, we've been able to pay down a total of $15,049, leaving us at $141,530 left. I have a plan to pay this off in the next 2.5 years. My main reason for creating this account was to keep me a little bit more accountable as I pay off the debt. My biggest fear is that as soon as we pay off one debt and we have a little bit more extra wiggle room, I just don't want to fall back into old spending habits. I want it all to go towards debt. So you're here to keep me accountable. If you want to hold me to my goal, follow along.
All right, so look, let's be real. Working hard for a job in 2025 is stupid. And it's not because I'm lazy, and it's not because I don't want to grind or I don't know how to hustle. But it's because I realize the system that I'm working for is designed to use me up and leave me with nothing. And I'm pretty sure you are in the same position as me. Pretty close. You know how I know? Because we are in a global burnout crisis. Millions of people are working harder than ever, and millions of people are also getting poorer than ever. You are not working for wealth. You're working for survival. And the more you grind, the more exhausted you get, and the system keeps moving the finish line farther and farther away. And you have to understand that this is not a personal failure. This is a rigged game. This is a rigged system. Capitalism does not reward your hard work. It exploits it. These corporations that you work for are ran by narcissists. And these narcissists do not care about your loyalty. They care about how much labor they can squeeze out of you until you collapse. They gaslight you with fake appreciation while refusing to pay you enough to live. You're expected to give them your time, your health, your peace, your energy. But when you ask for a living wage, they act like you're being entitled. The disrespect is loud and clear. And now, with AI and automation, they are not hiding it anymore. These jobs do not give a fuck about us. They are replacing workers with machines because it is cheaper and more efficient. Cashiers, customer service reps, warehouse workers, delivery drivers. AI is taking over entire industries. So what are we even working hard for? There is no ladder to climb. These jobs are disappearing. You are unaliving yourself for a system that is actively trying to find ways to make you unnecessary. And not just that, but your labor is literally fueling a system that is destroying the planet. While you're burning out to survive, these corporations that you work for are destroying the earth for profit. 70% of global emissions come from the top 100 companies, but then they try to guilt trip you for not recycling enough. You are being used to power a machine that does not care if you are drowning or if the planet is dying. And that's why we have to stop giving this system our energy. You don't owe them your life force. You don't owe them your loyalty. And you definitely don't owe them your health, your peace, or your future. AI is taking these jobs anyway. There is no ladder to climb. There is no security. So why are we still working hard for these companies? If you're going to work hard at becoming self-sufficient. Work hard to build your own business. Work hard to create systems that don't depend on them. We should be working hard to live independently of this matrix, to build self-sustaining living, to create communities that support each other, not just to survive paycheck to paycheck. In 2025, working hard for a job is a death sentence. Working hard for yourself is the only way to truly live. Keep your energy, reclaim your labor, and build your freedom.
We are looking for someone with 5 years of marketing experience and a bachelor's degree in business administration or marketing. Hey, I have 5 years of marketing experience and I have a bachelor's too. Would you do me a favor and turn in an application with a cover letter? How about you do that first? No problem. Here's a resume and a cover letter, and everything's written by me. It's not AI or anything. Cool, didn't ask. I guess I do see you have 5 years of successful marketing experience, a bachelor's of business and marketing. That's neat and everything. Sorry, but you actually aren't the kind of person we're looking for, so I wish you luck, but we're going to have to politely decline. Huh? I have everything you're looking for. I'm actually like overqualified for the job, so I just don't get what you're saying. We really appreciate the time you took to write a cover letter and fill out a resume. We know it's a painstaking process and it fucking takes forever, right? But yeah, wish you the best of luck. Have a good one. Thank you.
Hey, it's me again, Brian. And guys, I'm at a place in my life now where I have a lot of things that I want to do, and I have a few things preventing me from doing them. So, if you're new to my channel, ¿qué pasa? Espero que estés bien. Me llamo es Brian. Crecí en Louisiana, and soy del Estados Unidos, es mi casa. And, sí, estoy aprendiendo español. Me he visitado unas pillas en Latinoamérica, Colombia, Puerto Rico y Cuba. Bienvenidos a mi canal. So back to English for a second. So, I'm from Louisiana, and a short snapshot of my life has been like this. 18 to 21, I was in university. I graduated university. At 22, I became a father. Okay, that drastically changed my life. And then it actually made me more responsible because I had to enter the workforce and really think about my future. From 22 to 24, I was in Louisiana in a terrible job market with a college degree. Graduated where there was no jobs available for me. 25, my dad passed away, and I ended up getting my CDL, which actually catapulted me towards traveling, being able to afford my own lifestyle, and living. So from 26 to 30, I worked, gaining experience, OTR, and regional trucking. I met my friend Rob when I was 27 years old. Rob and I met in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we started team driving. That's when I really met someone that was on the same trajectory as me and helped me to really reach my goals. If I could go back, I wouldn't change too much, but I would probably prioritize an emergency fund and paying off debt, and I will get back to that in a moment. So I met Rob. Rob and I worked together for 2 years, from 27 to age 30 for me, and from 35 to age 37 for Rob. Last year was my last year trucking with Rob. We were making really good money together. At the time, we were teaming and we were making $2,300 weekly gross, and after taxes, we was making $1,800 weekly, and we lived in Louisiana. The schedule was really demanding. We really only had about 24 hours of free time, and all other hours were spent in the truck going to and from shippers. But it was the most money that I had made for myself. Okay, I at age 27, I started dating a Cubana, and we met online dating. 27, 28, 29, 30, I traveled back and forth to Cuba in my free time. Okay. While trucking, I managed to save around $15,000 in 2 years. So it's like $7,000 in apart. So I ended up saving $15,000. I used that to buy a house. Okay? And I used the rest of my money pretty leisurely for travel and just to enjoy life, honestly, because my life was so demanding, which I don't regret because it gave me exposure. But I do feel a little bit like maybe if I would have prioritized debt, I could have had that same fun later. But at the same time, I had experiences that really shaped what I wanted my 30s to be like, so I don't regret it. This year, the beginning of this year, and last year was really challenging. So last year, everything changed when at age 30, I tore my Achilles tendon playing basketball. That ended my teaming career with Rob in July, August of last year, of 2024. In January of 2025, my friend Rob's wife passed away. And when she passed away, that just devastated both of us, especially Rob. You know, that goes without saying. He loved his wife very much. And I just knew that our tenure together was over, that it was a new chapter. At age 31, after being, in my bed and not being able to move, I really wanted to relocate to Houston. I thought moving to Houston would give me more job opportunities, work opportunities, a bigger place, and I was tired of being in Louisiana. And I hit a ceiling in Louisiana where I had already maximized everything that I could have done in Louisiana. I did. I don't think that I could have done anything differently by staying in Louisiana. I had attempted college, trades, certifications, and I just reached the conclusion that it was time to leave Louisiana. And what the trucking industry exposed to me is that the world was much bigger than just Louisiana. And what traveling internationally did for me taught me that the world is much bigger than the United States. So now I am in Houston. I have been facing new revelations, realizing that the job market in Houston is really competitive. They have a lot of salary caps for certain jobs. Although it's more opportunities than living in a rural place, the cost of living is high, and it could be difficult unless you are really creative to make more than what a job is willing to pay you, right? So a lot of jobs in Houston like to salary cap people around $4,000 monthly. It doesn't matter what job you're working, what trades you have. A lot of jobs is, paying around that $4,000 mark. So most people in the United States, their bills are around $3,500 monthly. So you can see that that's a very tight margin. So now the problem that I'm having is that I still have my student loans, and I would like to reach some stability where I'm just able to just have more control over my time. And so now that I'm in this position, I realize, like, wow, since I did not prioritize paying off my debt and building an emergency fund or sticking to my emergency fund when I was with Rob and I was making the most money I had ever made, now I have to do it, but I'm doing it by myself. Okay? And I am in a situation where for the next 20 months, I have to just work and prioritize paying off debt. Okay? I realized that I can build a life in Houston. I could buy a home in Houston. I could have a good life in Houston. It's not too far from Louisiana. But I realized that I made it this far in life by working hard, by staying consistent. And although a part of me wants to stop working so hard, a part of me wants to find a space where I can relax, I'm about 2 years away from being able to do that. Especially a good 12 months from being able to do that. And it doesn't matter how I feel about it. That's just what it is. And I look at my 30s and I'm like, man, by the time I'm 35, I could really live life the way that I really want to live life. I could be totally free. But as long as I'm in the situation where I am living check to check, I don't have a big emergency fund, I owe people money, the normal bills that I take on are going to be very stressful for me. So like when a person is debt free and they have a large emergency fund, they have more freedom, they should be less stressed, and they have more agency to do what they want to do. When a person has a high income or relatively high income, but they have a large amount of debt, they're not going to be free. Although they have all of the indicators that their life should be fine, they have a decent car, they have a decent education, because they have this debt that's feels insurmountable, whether that's student loans, medical debt, car loans, consumer debt. Once a person eliminate that debt and they have a decent income, you actually can make less money and still be free. And that's really the secret sauce to being able to withstand the instability that's in the United States, is that if most people can have it to where their the money that they owe is either non-existent, and the money that they have is in surplus. That's the goal that most people should have in a capitalist country. Because then you could put your money to work for you. You can open up a business. You can create jobs for other people. But what ends up happening is most people, even those running businesses, are still in debt. They're not free. And I'm coming to the conclusion it doesn't matter how I feel. It matters about becoming debt free. So from 31 to until hopefully it's about 33, 34, my main goal is becoming debt free. If I'm not debt free, it doesn't matter anything else. Because I do want to travel the world. I do want to have a long-term relationship. I do want to travel and live life on my terms. I do want to live in a Spanish-speaking nation. But I can't do any